Hello, everyone. This is Kylie Gatewood, and we'd like to welcome you this week to Winning the Week. We're covering the topic of surviving transition, and I know it's not a fun time in anyone's life, so I thought it would be a good topic to cover together. We all come together as a family here on Winning the Week, and as you can see, things look a little bit different. We're in transition in our world over here for our set and everything, and I'm going to tell you why at the end of the broadcast, so stay tuned. So, transition. The Bible is full of different people who went through it, of different things they had to encounter while they were going through these changes. And he starts us out pretty early telling us about seasons. We see in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 that there are seasons, not just winter, spring, summer, or fall. Take a look. We see that to everything there is a season. There's a time for every matter or purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak. I'm still working on this one personally. A time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What profit remains for the worker from his toil? I have seen the painful labor and exertion and miserable business which God had given to the sons of men, which he to exercise and busy themselves. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also planted eternity in men's hearts and minds. Yet, so that men cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. God has made everything beautiful in its time. Will you be like, Kylie, life right now is not beautiful for me. No, but we have a promise. He promised in his word that in Deuteronomy, he said, I'll never leave you or forsake you, even to the very end. That means through all of these transitions, through all of these seasons that we've seen, he said he would never leave us or forsake us. Now, I have a friend named Mary, and I really wanted her to be on the show with me tonight. But since she wasn't, and she just didn't quite feel super comfortable about it, she sent me some notes. And I have to say, thank you, Mary, for your wonderful insight. One of the things she brought up to me was a reminder of Genesis chapter 28. And in Genesis chapter 28, we see Jacob. Now, think about this. Jacob's own brother hated him, wanted to kill him because he wanted his birthright. So he was running from the place that he knew. He was not in the place that he used to be. He was not in the place where he was going. He was somewhere in the middle. And so many times we find ourselves that somewhere in the middle spot. And we read, starting in verse 10, and Jacob left Beersheba and he went towards Haran. And he came to a certain place. And he stayed there overnight because the sun was set. Taking one of the stones of that place, he put it under his head and he laid down there to sleep. And he dreamed that there was a ladder sent up from the earth, and the top of it reached the heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood over and beside him and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac, and I will give to you your descendants and the land which you are lying. So here he is. He's in not where he was, not his comfortable home, and he's not where he's going, and he's not in the four seasons. He's got a rock for a pillow, but he had a word from the Lord. Much like the disciples, when they had a word from the Lord that you will cross over to the other side. You have a word from the Lord today. He said, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. You have a word from the Lord today. He said, there's a season for everything. But the Lord makes everything beautiful in its time. And you can find the beauty in the season that you are living in, no matter what it looks like around you. So, what happened? and your offspring shall be as the countless dust and sand of the ground, and you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. And by you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed, and bless themselves. And behold, I am with you. That's the word of the Lord for you tonight. No matter what transition you see yourself in, he says he's with you. And I will watch over you and take care of you and take notice of wherever you may go. And I will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done all of which I have told you. And Jacob woke from his sleep, and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I didn't even know it. You know, sometimes we don't often recognize his presence where we are. We don't often take the time to say, in this uncomfortable spot, where I sit my tail right now, God is there. He didn't leave me. He didn't forsake me. He's not going to allow me to fear. Because really, we boil down, the uncomfortable feeling that we feel in the middle of transition is the fear of the unknown and not being able to control our surroundings and our situation. Whew, take a deep breath. Sometimes you can't control everything. I know. We might need to put it on a sticker and put it on our bathroom mirror. We can't allow fear to control how we respond in these times. Instead, we have to contend, wrestle, don't quit, and search for the presence of God in this time. A lot of times in this transitionary period, things that help. Journaling helps. Making a vision board helps. Why? Because you get your mind off of the rock that you're using as a pillow right now. You get your mind off of all the ways that you're uncomfortable right now, and you set your affection, as the Lord says, on things above. You set your affection on the things that are to come. You find out who you really are, the desires that the Father has really put in your heart. You find out more about yourself in those times of transition than you ever knew about yourself in any other time. You find out what makes you tick. You find out what ticks you off. You find out who God is to you. In these times of transition, I had a major life change. My year 32 and 33 years old were, I feel like that number rings a bell in the time of Jesus's life too, as a transitionary time. But all in one year, I got married. Met the man I was going to marry, engaged, married him, got pregnant on my honeymoon, and then within a calendar year had another baby. Or had a baby, one baby. That's all I had. But, you know, they say that you're only supposed to have like 2 life changes in a 12-month span of time. I had like 10. Not only did all of these things change, my own name changed. The thing that I was the most familiar with my whole entire life, everything changed. I lived in a new state. I lived in a new house. I was waking up to this guy. I'm like, I know I'm supposed to marry you. I know it's the will of the Lord, but like, I don't know you. I don't know you very well. And all of these things changed. And I sat in my chair and I freaked out. I allowed myself to freak out. I allowed myself to cry because I don't know where I am. My ministry doesn't look the same. My life doesn't look the same. My name doesn't look the same. Everything is different. What do I do here? And it wasn't until I began to contend for the presence of God in the space I was living in and find out what his vision was for the place that I was living in and find out what he wanted for me in this place, that rock pillow became comfortable because he shows you things to come. If he showed us everything, y'all, we wouldn't have to walk by faith. And that is why the word of God says faith pleases God. So you're like, God, is this some kind of cruel joke that you can't just tell me what's going to happen? It's all going to be roses. It's all going to be peachy. No, he wants us to walk by faith. He wants us to take a hold of his hand and say, though this place is uncomfortable, though it stinks, though it's like washing your feet with your socks on, you're going to lead me in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14. In the King James translation, it says, "Thanks be unto God who always causes us to triumph." But in the Message, it says, "In Christ, God leads us from place to place." Is that a transition? Yes. He leads us from place to place in one perpetual victory parade. You say, "Kylie, my life doesn't look victorious right now." Well, my friend Jen Trengel, she posted this on her social media the other day, and it was so good. She said that the enemy, he stirs up smoke screens, so you cannot determine your place based on your surroundings. You cannot determine what the status of your heart or your soul based on what you see around you, because the devil could stir up smoke screens. Another thing she said that was so good was, the secret to change isn't found in fighting the old, but in building the new. If you focus on all that you lost and all that changed, then that's going to grow bigger in your life than what is ahead of you. No, spend that time with your journal, with your vision board, going to the things that are to come. Maybe not what you think it looks like, but that's okay, because you have a word from the Lord that is going to take you from this mountain to the other, from this side of the lake to the other, from this season to the other. A lot of times in my own life, I notice that seasons don't actually just like one changes and then the next one begins. Seasons start to cross over, if you will. We don't just go from winter to spring. We don't just go from summer to fall. You start to see just little inklings, little things. One day it might be fall weather, and the next day it's really hot again. Where I come from in Oklahoma, we call those Indian summers. But you start to see these little areas of change. When that happened to me before, that's the time that I could deny that the truth was actually happening. No, this isn't happening. It's not going to happen. I'll just deal with it when it comes. I'll just deal with it when it comes. I'll just deal with it when it comes. But then I found myself right in the middle of this transition, this change, this uncomfortable place, and I had to actually start to deal with what was going on. What do? We contend, we wrestle, we don't quit, we keep going, and we refuse to fear the unknown. And we seek out the presence of God in every season that we're in every location. You know, you think about the colors that accompany the sunrise and the sunset. Again, my friend Mary brought this up. She says those are daily transition times. Each transition comes with a new, unique blend of colors. We drink it in, we embrace it, we enjoy the season for what it is. And we remember that there are heavenly angels on ladders of your prayer life. Your prayer life connects that presence of God. That is your plug into the power source. That is your time to stop allowing your soul to run havoc with your life because you're trying to figure everything out. My friend, you're not going to be able to figure everything out. And that's okay. It's uncomfortable, but it's okay. Run with it. Find the colors of whatever is good in that time. I have a friend who just graduated from college. Now she's living with her parents for a short time. And she's trying to negotiate all of this time and what's going on and all of this, I need my alone time and da-da-da-da. You know what? She can find the beauty in just spending time. Yeah, they might drive her crazy, but there's a lot of time that I wish that I had with my father now that he's not on this earth. So for everything, there's a season. Embrace where you are. Find the beauty in what is there. Locations change. Relationships change. Status changes. Goals change. But God never changes. And He's here to walk you through where you need to go. So send me some of your journals. Send me pictures of your vision board. Send me these times that you're taking the time to find the Father in these given situations. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I appreciate your love, your encouragement, and your dedication to winning the week. So here's some good news. We have this new setup, this new mic, all this new stuff. Why? Because we are creating the Winning the Week podcast. Soon and very soon, you will be able to just download the audio on your phone and you can listen to Winning the Week whenever you want to. That being said, the cost is going up on all of the things we need for production. So if you feel led to partner with Kylie Gatewood Ministries, get the word out that you can live a daily life of victory in your mind, your will, and your emotions, then go ahead and click on the link that is posted below, or also you can text your gift, and the information is below as well. We thank you so much for all God is doing. Can't wait to see you soon. Like and share. Have a good day.